This video is sponsored by Dreamverse. Dreamverse is the world's first NFT and music festival. It is being held on the 4th of November at Terminal 5 in New York. It is a physical event. Really cool stuff happening. In particular, it is the first time that Bleeple's The First 5,000 Days NFT will be showcased. This is the most expensive NFT in the world at $69 million. There's a whole bunch of art stuff going on, including AR and VR experiences. That's from 12 to 4 p.m. And then there is the Dreamverse party from 8 to 1 a.m. Headlined by Alesso, various other artists there as well. Of course, the tickets are NFTs designed by a lot of money. You can buy them now. You get this sepia version, and when you turn up and get them scanned, you get this fully colourful version of the ticket itself, a valuable NFT. So check it all out. It's happening the 4th of November in New York. Check it out at dreamverse.life. Thanks for the sponsorship. Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So the news today is another funding round. This time it is the Sandbox. Sandbox has raised $93 million in a funding round led by SoftBank. It's Vision Fund 2. And we used to call the Sandbox a sort of, well, I used to call it at least a user-generated sort of content world. But now, obviously, it is a NFT metaverse, because that's kind of where all those things have gone. Obviously, spoke about metaverses for a long time, but Facebook's rebranding has obviously sort of kicked that into the headlines again. So let's sort of unpick this a little bit. There is sort of quite a bit in here. It's not just about the money; it's sort of who's given the money and how many of them there are, and also a few other sort of interesting sort of things, which basically give you an idea of how the Sandbox is sort of suddenly become, very sort of hot project, I guess, because of all this sort of metaverse stuff. And as I've sort of personally sort of come to understand it over 2021, even though the Sandbox hasn't really sort of got going in the way that we would have liked, I think, at the start of the year. And the way you just have an open, basically a open environment where anyone can sort of buy an NFT land and then come in and build on that, and we start to see that a lot. That's clearly, is it an all singing, all dancing metaverse? No, it's not. But is it like the best first step we've sort of got? Potentially it is. Obviously, there's other things around like Decentraland as well. So there's a few other things in the blockchain world, but the Sandbox, I think, is probably slightly more tighter in terms of its sort of concept. Anyway, let's go through it. So there are a whole bunch of people. So there are an awful lot of funders. So all these companies are funding. So when you have that many companies funding, normally it means you're very popular, and loads of people want to basically throw money at you. So I think, reading between the lines, I don't have any particular detailed knowledge on this. Sandbox probably didn't want to raise 93 million, probably maybe wanted to raise, I don't know, 50 million or something like that. And all these people have sort of piled in, screaming, give me your bank account details. So some of them are sort of the usual suspects. So obviously Animoca Brands owns the Sandbox already. So they're investing. And then some of these other ones we know. So Liberty City Ventures, quite well known. Galaxy Interactive, very sort of active in the space. Kingsway Capital's got active this year. It's interesting to see some other sort of ones. So LG, the TV and kind of consumer electronics maker, has got involved there. Come to Us, a really big South Korean mobile gaming company. We have some of these sort of I don't know who Sung Hung K is, but obviously it's one of what we say is a family company. So basically, a family wealth there. Redbeard, pretty well known in space. Polygon Studios, the venture arm of sort of Polygon blockchain. Sandbox is on Polygon now. Samsung. So a whole bunch of stuff going on there. So basically raising a ton of money. SoftBank is pretty big. SoftBank, started to go very aggressive into blockchain games. So was the lead investor into So Rare, the soccer game. This is, as far as I know, is the second sort of deal it's done. So there we go. We also have an advisory team, so pretty impressive section here. So this guy Ozuri, probably not Osiri. Anyway, he's the founder of Maverick Management, Madonna, U2, now Bored Ape Yacht Club. We have a Snoop Dogg's manager. We have someone, the chief product officer at Riot Games, behind the League of Legends, and then the Fresh Planet song pop creator as well. So we have these sort of high profile people sort of in the game and the entertainment world getting involved. These are not people particularly who I know have got involved with sort of blockchain before.
So that's, this just basically means there's a ton of money going in and lots of important people in the media space are really interested in the Sandbox now. And it wasn't that long ago that Sandbox was, a fairly small company, development mainly based out of Argentina. I think offices in San Francisco and Paris as well. So in terms of growth, there's been $144 million in terms of volume of trading. A lot of that's been primary sales as the Sandbox has sold off these land sales, but obviously there's been kind of resale of these as well. So we now have over 500,000 users have connected a wallet. So basically, if you go to the Sandbox website, you need an Ethereum-based wallet like MetaMask, and you can sort of create an account. Doesn't mean these people own anything, because there's not that much land. There's land that they talk about later on, I think. So these are just people who've connected a wallet. 165 brands. So what's interesting about the Sandbox is these brands, some of them are sort of deals where they've asked permission, like the Walking Dead. That's a sort of an official deal. But some of them, people like the Bored Ape Yacht Club have just basically bought land in there and started building, and that's really where most of these brands are not people who've gone to the Sandbox to say, "Can I do a deal with you?" They basically just said, "Right, we're buying some NFTs. We're going to build some stuff on there." So that's what's really been interesting. I think that's why the momentum has been over 2021, certainly in the last kind of 3 or 4 months. As these sort of profile NFT sort of communities have come together, they want to do something. It's quite hard to make a game. Many of them are making games, but something you can sort of do quickly in the meantime is sort of create a space where you can hang out. So you have your Discord, you have your Twitter, and then also you have like a place in the Sandbox. That seems to be where a lot of them are going. So we'll see. Obviously, this thing isn't live yet. Should just point that out. So we'll see how that all pans out. What else? There was some other okay, so we also have here 12,000 unique land holders. So this is basically looking at wallets and seeing if they own some land. So there's 166,000 land NFTs in total. They haven't all been sold yet. I think over 100,000 have been sold. So we can already see that obviously some people own one, but a lot of people are owning quite a lot of these. There's only 12,000 unique owners of this land, and there's over 100,000 land sold. So I mean, on average, that's is it 8, something like that, 8 lands per wallet. So obviously, some people own hundreds of these things. Some of the sort of richer people. So it's sort of interesting how that plays out. We will see how many people are buying these for an investment, how many people are buying them to actually build things on there. I've been messing around with building stuff using the game maker sort of PC download you can do. It's pretty easy. It's quite like Minecraft. They've not connected it all together, so at the moment you can't build something and then put it on your NFT land. That will be happening, I think, over the coming months. So anyway, there's a lot of interest in how stuff like fashion and all these other sort of things. So obviously you can make games in the Sandbox. That's what it's designed to do. But now the point of the metaverse coming in is lots of these other things: fashion, architecture, virtual conferences, concerts. All the stuff we're seeing in sort of Roblox and Fortnite can very quickly sort of come over and be done here ad hoc. You don't need to ask the developers' support necessarily. You can just build some of this stuff from the ground up, which is why people are talking about it as a metaverse. The other sort of big thing that we haven't really got a vast amount of detail on is how sort of play to earn model works in here. So that's really been the big driver for, say, Axie Infinity. People can come in and play the game and earn money. So the Sandbox is a little bit different because you have to sort of create environments, create experiences. I don't know whether you're better charge for that. If you're a good artist, you can create things and then sell them in the marketplace. That's one way of doing it. I don't really know. I haven't got a lot of detail on how the Sandbox is going to enable play to earn. So we sort of wait to see that. That's sort of a missing piece. But I don't think that sort of kind of stuff is that sort of difficult to sort of deal with. So there we go. Anyway, so that's the news today. Another blockchain games outfit has raised a large sum of money. No surprise there. We've seen that pretty much for the last sort of 6 months. I guess now kind of we want to see this stuff sort of going live, and that'll be the proof of the pudding anyway. Thanks for watching the video, Blockchain Gaming World. Please subscribe to keep up to date with what's going on. But thanks for watching, and see you again soon.